And I got to be honest, and this is probably the biggest douchebaggery thing to say. I'm like, did nobody else learn how to think? How come so few people know how to use their brains?
No, hell no. So nobody teaches you that, right? Everybody teaches, and this isn't a denigration on the education system. And,
right.
and I understand the reasons to do that. So apologies to anybody who's going to take umbrage with what I'm about ready to say. But we're also worried as a society about failing, that we teach to facts, but we don't necessarily teach at an early enough age to the context of facts. So here's what I tell people. I have the privilege of doing some volunteer work with college and high school students through a large Rotary Club that I'm involved with here in Southern California. And I'm involved in Rotary International on some other elements. I tell kids, you're supposed to try new things, right? You're supposed to take a chance and get out of your comfort zone. And for me, I lucked out. I say I lucked out because I got to the military. There was no way on earth I should have been in there, save for a retired lieutenant commander by the name of John Wesley Gaynor III at Gaithersburg High School, who saw something in me that I didn't see in myself and put me in a position that I was able to secure an ROTC scholarship and then muddle my way through college. But I tell them, look, it doesn't have to be the military. It could be foreign service. It could be missionary work. It could be something you do in your backyard. The point is that if you think for yourself in a certain situation, there's no way I'm going to succeed at that, that's the time you jump in for that. And maybe you don't. And you know, what's the worst thing that happens? The worst thing that happens is you fail and you learn a lesson and you move on. Everybody's so worried about the box score at the end of the day. But what they don't watch in the box score, so baseball's my first love, I'm going to go here on an analogy, is they look at the win-loss. Who had the most runs, who didn't, and that's the only thing that matters. BS, 100%. The thing that matters is how many at-bats you took and how many times you swung at a pitch. Because guess what? The best player in baseball, person's making $1 gazillion a year, who has a batting average of 350, fails 2 out of every 3 times they attempt to do their primary job, which is to get the bat on the ball and put it in play. Nope, that's not what happens. They fail at it 2 or 3 times. And then they have the audacity, at least 3 innings later, to get up and try the same damn thing again. And that's the secret to life. We don't teach that enough. And it took me until my 20s to figure that out. And if I can help kids figure that out at an earlier age, you just got to try. Everything will work out. You'll get your hits. You'll get your runs. You're going to have a lot of scrapes, cuts, and losses in the between, and that's perfectly okay.
I love that. And it makes me think of something my good friend David Spizak said. He's very well known in the automotive industry and throughout, just a vast experience that he's had in his career. And on a recent podcast episode of his, he said, you either succeed at achieving the whole goal or you don't make it fully there, but you still progressed. I love the paradigm shift on failure. Like, it's you learned something, you still gained so much. Maybe you didn't fully get there, but you got somewhere.
Yeah, we got to teach kids that failure is perfectly fine. In fact, it happens all the time, provided that you have stepped up to the plate and you've tried, right? The attempts are what matters. The shots on goal, if you want to use a hockey analogy, whatever it is that works for you. The thing that I still look back to, I was just at a networking event before this, and we were talking about what our regrets are. And the regrets that I had is the times in which I talked myself out of doing something. Because those failures of the time that you didn't even step up and try, the what if only I did that, those are the regrets that I still carry with myself in high school and college, and in some cases in my first year and a half in the military, until I woke up one day and said, I'm failing because I'm not even trying. Well, damn it, if I'm going to fail, I might as well give it a shot and we'll figure it out from there. And at that point, once I trained my mind to overcome the fear of failure, stuff started happening. And I want to be clear, because I mentioned this in the beginning, it's not been all bed of roses for the last 31 years. And even in my own private practice there were some really rough, lean, sucky years, I think is the technical term. But I knew I could get myself out of it. I knew that there would be a solution. I just had to keep trying, and that got me through it, and I'm grateful for it.